Well, Mike, disappointing way to end the season, but I imagine you're still very proud of the way the boys performed tonight and the season as a whole.
Yeah, not proud of the way we performed tonight. We were really poor tonight. We went back months and months. It was just one too many. We massively run out of steam. We needed to get the job over the line probably the last few weeks, I think, and we didn't quite do it. So going into this game, being on the road and having the heartbreak that we've had the last few weeks and whatnot, a couple of short turnarounds in a row, was always going to be a tough ask. And they were absolutely outstanding tonight. I thought they were really, really good. We were really poor, don't get me wrong, but I thought they're ready for playoffs. They were absolutely outstanding.
It seemed like they were very relentless in their line speed, kicking the territory and forcing that pressure.
They were absolutely outstanding, but it's no different than what's happened the last 2 weeks. Catalan and Huddersfield, albeit these were another level up than them too. We absorbed a lot of pressure early on, and we overcame it. We either force an error, or we get a penalty, or there's a break in the game and we get some territory. That unfolded almost the same, and then we're turning the ball over. Play twos, play threes multiple times. It was really, really poor from us. So today's today. It's done. We were off. They were excellent. Really, really good. I think they're back on it now. Where they were at the start of the year they were really good, and then they've probably a little bit of a lull for them, and then where they've been the last couple of weeks is they're right on it. So good luck to them.
And what's the mood like in the dressing room at the moment?
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? We're obviously naturally disappointed, but it's understanding what this season was to us. That doesn't define our season tonight at all. Our season is what those players have done and what they've delivered is they've given great credibility to a competition that took away their hope from day one. They had no hope from day one, and the credibility of the competition could have suffered massively as a result of that, and it didn't. They weren't passengers. They actually added value to the competition. It's an amazing story. We'll finish bottom. We won 3 games. We're terrible in our last outing, but that's our story.
And there's been a bit of talk this week about this being potentially the last time a lot of people in your club come together, for the last time. It must be a bit of an emotional experience saying goodbye to a few people.
Yeah, and you always get the turnover, don't you, of whatever it may be, maybe 15, 20%, but it's a huge turnover of players and staff, which has been going on for quite a series of weeks now. So, and just massive credit again to the playing staff and the coaching staff, because they have been producing the performances they have been doing, not just with the odds stacked against them, but with losing the teammates week after week, and the players who have got sorted elsewhere. You've people like Sam Davis who's sorted elsewhere. He could have pulled stumps, and he just hasn't. He's got better and better, and the same with a few others. Ollie Leyland, he got sorted weeks ago, but he's been fantastic. Again, he wasn't great tonight, but that doesn't define his season. He's been absolutely fantastic for me since I took over, and he's been fantastic for us this season.
It's a bit of a theme for the Broncos this season. You seem to have unearthed a lot of great talented players that we may not have had a chance to look at. What does it mean to just give those players an opportunity to showcase what they've got this year, and I guess provide potential opportunities in the future?
Immensely proud of that. There's a narrative a few years ago around we put 12 teams in because there wasn't enough quality to field 14 teams, and whilst we've had some heavy scorelines like that, doesn't represent a competitive game tonight. We've unearthed so many players that either we've produced from within or that we've identified from Championship and brought in, and they're now household names within Super League, and they will be for years to come. And I think that's just another amazing story, and something that I'm super proud of, and that we're super proud of. People didn't know, well, our staff, myself included, and the playing group that we've got now, and they're going to go on fantastic careers, and it's an amazing story.
And what's next for you?
I don't know yet. I'm not too sure yet.
Just lastly, will this be, do you think, the last time we see London Broncos in the Super League? And I guess, I'll give you the opportunity to put out a last call to the RFL to reconsider keeping you guys in the league.
No, they're not going to reconsider. They're not going to reconsider. And what I respect is that having conversations with them is that they're standing firm with their principles and what they've put in place. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I think they've identified that London is key, but yet stuck stringently to the guidelines. And I think this opportunity stood up and smacked them in the face, and they're standing firm with. They've sorted out with the IMG where they're going. They've done a lot of research into how things should look, and they're standing very firm. And it's difficult, and I understand that they've made those agreements and whatnot. But I just think we've done this now as a game. Like we're there. People said we've been going for 40 years, but we're there now. We're sustainable. We're doing it year after year, producing these players. We've been successful to a degree to get up. And if you could just build on that now, you're probably going to have the London that we've all hoped for. And that's just disappointing, but it's done. They're not going back on the word with the 12 teams and the gradings and whatnot. That's not going to happen. Is it the last time you see London Broncos in Super League? I hope not. I hope not, but there's an almighty rebuild going to have to take place.
How far is the game away from 14 teams in Super League?
I don't know. I don't know. It's all finance. It's money. There's not a person in this room or in this stadium doesn't think it should be 14 teams. But the pot's got thinner, hasn't it, over a series of years now. Like I said, I don't agree with there's not enough talent. There's so much talent in Championship. Just give it opportunity, coach it, teach it, help it, back them. Players that we've produced there, we haven't got enough of them as a club because we're in the situation we were in, but we would have strengthened. And you'd have seen those players on top of some more established players. That was the plan. And I think there's enough talent across Championship, which is a phenomenal competition, as you know. And I just think we need to get back to everybody having an academy, ourselves included, and get back to that model. I think that's really important. But it's all commercially based at the minute. It's all financially driven. That's what they've done the research on. I know that for a matter of fact. They've told me to my face that that's what it is. So they've put these things in place, and it'll be 12 teams until they get 14 teams up to 15 points. But that won't be us anytime soon.
Will you be watching Hull Catalans tomorrow, or have you got better things to do?
No, we'll be on the beers.
Quite right, too. Yeah.
No, we'll enjoy each other's. It's done now. It's over now. You know, we're not too fussed about that. Everything's gone against us tonight, our performance and other bits and pieces. So we're just going to enjoy each other's company, and then for the next couple of days, and then that's it.
It must be hard as a coach seeing how far this team's come, and then knowing that you could have had another off-season and pre-season to build to next season. Because I feel like your team would have went a lot better next year, and you must feel the same way.
Yeah, consistency and continuity of staff and players is a proven winner in all sports, and we've done that very quickly over a couple of years. But it's because we've promoted from within, which has helped us. So there's existing relationships with some of the younger players and whatnot. And to not be able to do that is just really, really hard. And even if it was, we've not just had the Super League taken away, it's going into Championship next year. It's brand new start, and it's devastating for any club, and even more so for London. So it's a huge rebuild ahead, massive rebuild ahead.